Now, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to Lisa Left Eye Lopes. Most people know her as 1/3 of TLC, but her personal life, especially her relationship with NFL player Andre Rison, was wild. Their relationship was super toxic, intense passion, but a lot of drama and even some domestic violence. So to give you guys a trigger warning, there's going to be some really scary stories involving these two. And even looking into the research, I was triggered from my own personal life. They had some serious public fights, but what everyone remembers is when Left Eye, in a fit of frustration, set fire to Andre's sneakers in their bathtub. The fire ended up spreading and it burnt down the entire mansion. These are the kind of stories you cannot make up. Left Eye later said that she was fed up with this relationship, she felt disrespected, and she had to move on. Despite that insane moment, they stayed connected on and off for years. But then in 2002, tragedy struck while she was on a trip, a spiritual retreat in Honduras. She was working on a documentary and seeking spiritual healing when she tragically died in a car accident. She was only 30 years old when she died while driving with friends. They were fine, but she was ejected from the car and died instantly. It's crazy because she was in this phase of trying to find peace and clarity after so much turbulence in her personal life. This was a huge shock to everyone, including the other members of TLC. So let's go ahead and get into the details. TLC is known as one of the greatest girl groups of all time. They rose to stardom during the 90s after releasing their album Ain't Too Proud to Beg. TLC sent 9 of their singles to the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, including Creep, Waterfalls, No Scrubs, Unpretty, and I feel like especially Waterfalls and No Scrubs people listen to this day. The girl group sold tens of millions of records and won countless awards. They even did well as solo artists, so they could just, run this industry essentially. Let's get into Left Eye. She actually got her nickname because her left eye is slanted downwards more than her right. She came from an abusive household with an alcoholic father, and I guess he encouraged her at a young age to drink. By her late teens, she was already battling some signs of alcoholism. I feel like sometimes we hear people in Europe, they're like, oh, yeah, they're 12 years old and they're having a glass of wine, and it's kind of normalized there to give your child booze, but it wasn't like that. It's like he's giving this, young girl hard liquor, getting them accustomed to being drunk at a young age. Let's go ahead and take a look at some footage of an old interview with Left Eye, speaking about her father and the kind of home that she came from.
We lived with my dad. He was a drill sergeant for real. He used to have us every morning. We had to get up at 6. He used to come through the rooms. He'd be like, get up, don't let your head touch the pillow. Oh, what? He'd be like, don't let your head touch the pillow. So we was literally, I was literally every morning like this. Every 15 minutes we rotated. On the dot. Every 15 minutes was clockwork. It was so tight though. It was like 6 o'clock. I had to go start washing up. Raina started getting her clothes ready. Ronald started doing something. Rotate. I come out, get dressed. Raina go in the bathroom. Ronald start getting his clothes ready. Rotate. I go downstairs, make breakfast. Raina go in the room, get dressed. Ronald go in the bathroom. Rotate. Damn. I start making a lunch. Raina come downstairs. Ronald, rotate.
Despite Left Eye speaking fondly of this kind of structured home, growing up with one bathroom and, siblings having to go back and forth and figure it all out, we actually see a lot of stars sometimes reminisce on those days where they had kind of hardship. I mean, while they were in a hard place, we see even people like Cardi B talk about how she was kind of happier before fame. You think you want this so badly until you get it and you realize the simple things and the simple life wasn't too bad. And in other interviews, you'll see that she speaks about her childhood less fondly.
I grew up in a home where there were so many restrictions that by the time I got on the street, I didn't know what to do with myself.
That's actually so true. I've actually grown up in a neighborhood where, whose parents are super strict and things like that. Yes, structure is good, but also too much structure results in a rebel. So when the child has freedom, the child is now an adult and go and live their life. They don't want to live this hard, strict life where everything is timed on a dot. So they rebel and they do whatever they can because they finally can.
And I don't know. I was drinking, so that fueled a lot of situations.
So drinking was an outlook for her, a way for her to cope. And then getting into a relationship with an NFL player wasn't the best move. She began dating Atlanta Falcons American football player Andre Rison, and it wasn't a quiet life. She soon accused him of hitting her. In another incident, after catching him in bed with another woman, she threw all the teddy bears he had bought her into a marble bath and set it to fire, I guess, along with sneakers. From the outset of their relationship, things were highly combustible, for a lack of better words. Less than 6 months later, Andre was arrested in a parking lot after he allegedly got physical with Left Eye. He reportedly shot a handgun in the air in an attempt to get others from intervening. So he was getting physical with her. Onlookers tried to intervene because you're in a parking lot, and I mean, if I saw that happening, I would try to intervene too, because like, that needs to stop. That's not okay. And he just takes a gun out and shoots into the sky. Like, this guy is giving crazy. The charges against him were eventually dropped, but it did mark a really crucial time where we could all tell in the public that these people were not okay together. Here's a clip of Andre talking a little bit about his relationship with Left Eye.
It's not the first time the stormy relationship has ended up in court. Rison fired a gun in a parking lot after the couple had a dispute.
You have two celebrities, you know, that's in a relationship. That's one of the toughest relationships to ever have, you know. She has her career and I have mine.
I don't know if saying this is one of the toughest relationships you've ever had is a good look. I always say relationships should be easy, happy. They should make your life easier, not harder. On the night of June 8th, Andre was reportedly out clubbing with some of his friends. Annoyed with Andre, Left Eye went out with some of her friends, but returned before Andre did. He returned home at 5 a.m. on June 9th and was greeted by an angry Left Eye, of course. Like, your man is out clubbing, and where have you been till 5 a.m.? Lisa was reportedly very angry because he bought himself a lot of new sneakers without getting her anything. He said, "I knew she'd been drinking some, but I didn't know what was upsetting her. I started taking blows to the face. Finally, I grabbed her and I asked her what was wrong, but she kept coming at me." We have a clip of a Left Eye talking a little bit about this incident, so let's hear what she has to say.
He gets out the car, and as soon as he walked up to me, I don't know what he said, but he got slapped for it. He went in the house. I went in the house behind him.
Not her admitting to, like, he got slapped for it.
So it was just all building up. So now it's all coming out. It's all coming out. Everything that I just kept inside, all my frustrations. I was just enraged. I was about to snap. I was hurt. Next thing you know, he pulled me in the bedroom, and we were fighting. The whole time I'm screaming, and he grabbed me, throwing me back on the bed, pinning me down. And how could you? And ripping my clothes, and he's just going crazy. And then when I would get up on my feet, and then I would start just beating on him and stuff, you know, he would ball up, and he would.
Oh my gosh, the amount of detail here. I mean, clearly she's just putting it all out there and not even thinking about, like, oh, maybe being criminally charged. I don't know. I mean, they both are going at each other, so it's really disgusting.
He would just let me take my frustrations out, and I was blasted. I was wasted. I was blacking in and out the whole time. And I woke up, and that's when I walked in the bathroom and looked in the damn mirror. And when I seen my face, I was like, I'm about to kill him. I had a big bruise right here that went from the outside of my lip, flipped the lip under to the inside.
Oh, that sounds so horrific.
I didn't even recognize myself.
Also, Andre's like a big guy. He's an NFL player. Left Eye is small. Granted, there's no excuse at all for them to ever get physical with each other. He actually claims self-defense, allegedly slapping Left Eye to calm her down. When that didn't work, they moved inside the house, where Andre reportedly picked up Left Eye, slammed her onto the bed, and sat on her in a repeated effort to control her. At that point, Left Eye allegedly set fire to a pair of sneakers in the bathtub, then went outside and took a vacuum cleaner pipe to the windshields of two of his luxury vehicles. Before long, the entire mansion was engulfed in flames. Reggie, Andre's brother, reportedly saw Left Eye hanging out by the whirlpool, watching the house just burn down, just like happily watching it in flames.
In June 1994, apparently there was some sort of situation between you and Left Eye about her going out. I saw a little interview with you where you said that she slapped you like 50 times, or she hit you like 50 times, and you ended up slapping her once. But you know, it got framed as you being abusive.
Yeah.
And then she went into the bathtub, took all your sneakers and everything, lit them on fire. And this time, instead of just the bathroom lighting on fire, your whole mansion catches on fire.
Yeah. Trophies, awards, all kinds of shit.
Your whole life.
I'm definitely triggered when it comes to house fires. My house burned down, I think, in 2013. Yeah, it was April 2013. And I lived in a hotel for months, and it is a very scary experience, something I would never wish on anyone. So house fires freak me out. Like, Left Eye, you're pretty effed up for that one. Left Eye turned herself into the police because of being charged with arson. Ultimately, she was released on bail, and 5 days later, she went into rehab, which is probably the best look because, like, if you're going to do that, like, just claim you were on drugs or something, you know? Lisa asserts that she did not intend to burn down the mansion, though she was sentenced to live at a halfway house and 5 years probation and a $10,000 fine, which is not bad compared to the crime. I mean, the whole mansion is gone.
Lisa Lopes turned herself in to Fulton County authorities Friday. She was charged in connection with the fire that destroyed the $800,000 home of her boyfriend, Atlanta Falcon wide receiver Andre Rison. She allegedly set the fire after a fight with Rison when he arrived at his home early Thursday morning following an all-night outing. Lopes was charged with felony first-degree arson and criminal destruction to property. A witness said she damaged 3 cars before leaving the burning house.
A vacuum cleaner pipe. One of those vacuum cleaners, he started busting your windows. And he started busting out all my windows in my car because I had set the fire in the bathroom. And when I seen him do that, I was like, man, why you had to go do that? So I picked up the pipe, one swing, crack, bashed the windshield in Andre's Mercedes. One swing, crack, bashed the windshield in his other car. Dang. One crack. Get back up, went back to the other one. Man. But we're in the middle of doing all of this stuff. It's like we all stopped at once in unison. It's like we all stopped what we was doing and we looked up. This black smoke just rolling from under the. It's just, it was like, wow.
Trigger warning, she then began to self-harm herself, carving things into her skin, like the word love, and carving the word hate into her skin as well. Something that makes me like really irk inside.
7 years ago, it said love first, and then I wrote hate on it. And as you can see, you can't even see love anymore.
I carved love in my arm with a Lady Bic razor, one of those pink. I was in need of some attention. I was a little hurt, a little angry. I was serving time in the diversion center. And, I don't know, he wasn't really coming to visit like I would have wanted him to.
I kind of understand why Andre wouldn't be visiting after she burnt his house down, though they remained committed to one another after the fire. At Left Eye's sentencing, Andre actually held her hand and said that he forgives her. The two even planned to eventually get married. However, those plans were tragically cut short when Left Eye was killed in an accident while on a retreat in 2002. What's scary about some of these celebrities is that they end up predicting their own deaths, and this happened with Left Eye. Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.